amazing. So I would love, Cendrine, I would love you to begin by sharing first of all, what is a Galactic Earthling? How did you even come to be channeling the Arcturian healing councils and all the amazing things that you do?
Yes, thank you, Libby. So I won't go through all my life story, but in short, I was brought up in a very spiritual family, but from my father's side, it was like a yogic background, and my mother had a really open spirituality. But they were both framed in still outdated paradigms, especially around karma and, like the yogic path of if we are on earth, it's because we have karmic debt to repay, because we have sinned so much. And as I was very little and I had so many galactic friends, I really struggled to connect with. Like, I would talk to my mom and dad, but they couldn't see them. And so I wasn't, even though the family was open to spirituality, I still didn't have the container needed to understand that. And actually what happened is that it created a distortion in me. From a young age, I decided that I was basically fucked. I had no chance to make it because I was lying to get more lollies. I was, being mean to my siblings. And so I was, performing so many sins that like my karmic debt were already huge now. And so I thought, like, one day when I was maybe 5, I went to mom and I said, Earth is hell. I figured everything out, like Earth is hell. This is why we're here. And so it took me nearly 25 years to actually shift that belief system. It's where everything started unfolding, because that belief system didn't help me. And I think it's very important for a lot of us walking on this path to realize that if we have one belief system, even in spirituality, that doesn't serve our expansion or happiness, reclaiming our powers, then we have to ditch it and find and seek new ones. So this is really what I did. And all of that came to reclaiming. And for me, like, reclaiming is a very important word, because to start with, I would go out there because that was so easy, right? So I started reclaiming my galactic powers. Oh, it is so nice. I can see my angels. And to start with, I wasn't aware of different star seeds, origin, and so on. I just had my friends in spirit and my dragon. And so I was doing all of this amazing work, like all up. Mm-hmm. But still being able to embody all of that on Earth was really difficult. It was kind of gritty. Earth was still kind of, challenging and difficult and slow and painful and hard. And so many of us are still running through these outdated templates of Earth. Like, everything is hard here. Even like in the spiritual world, oh my God, I see that so often, that even like divine union between soulmates, it's hard, like it's so difficult to be with your divine beloved. I don't say it's easy, but we have all of these preconceived ideas of what it is to be incarnated on Earth. And so it was really like going through all of that and removing what was no longer serve me. But still, there was something else, right? So very recently, actually, only in January, I started a journey in going deep inside my womb, inside my femininity, inside sacred sexuality, and reclaiming what was below. Even though I had worked so much on past lives, I never had really reconnected as such the strong power of the Kundalini. I had not experienced that because I thought, oh yes, I have done so, but no. So when I went onto that journey to really tapping into the primal EARTHling that I am, everything started downloading. It was like bam, bam, bam. Then I started receiving activations from the Arcturians. And then all of a sudden, like my best mate, my spiritual galactic friend who's been with me since I'm very little, and she kind of transformed and morphed as I evolved myself. All of a sudden, she became this Arcturian that was so badass, like head of the healing council. And I was like, are you sure you're the same person? She's like, yeah. What you're ready to see, you shall see. And then she started coming inside my body. And because I had re-accessed this primal EARTHling in me, I was able to trance channel. So go like, this is what I do now full time. And since then, the expansion has been like mind-blowing, because I was able to really reclaim all of my earthiness and bring the galactic realms down. So what I find is extremely fascinating is that, honestly, like nearly all the people I work with, they are star seeds, but deeply earthling also. I think like recently in a session, I only connected to one soul who had been, like it was her second life on Earth. All the other ones, a lot of people who are drawn to me, it's because they're very old soul on Earth, and I think they can feel that. And because we have gone through so many hardships on Earth, a part of us wants to, like, we want to escape, because like we've had enough of the pain, you know, like enough is enough. And I'm not saying that life will be like easy and free from pain, but it's being able to re-access our powers, not only from the earth, but as well from above, from the galactic realm, you know, remembering where we come from, reclaiming our divine essence, then everything comes with so much more ease and grace, and the compassion we have for all humans. It's the heart portals opens up, and all of that comes this reactivation of this, like it's really much like an infinity sign that I see, you know, in our energy fields when I work with that, really reconnecting to the earth star and then the soul star, and then expanding it deep inside Gaia's core, like, you know, where it's very vibrant and fiery, and reclaiming that, and then going deep into the cosmos and saying, I'm already ascended. You know, I'm not here because I'm freaking trapped. I came here because I'm a badass soul. I was there in the galactic realms, and God asked, who is ready to go? And we were like, yeah. And all of that, we are like, yeah. And all of us, we were like that. And when we can reclaim that, imagine the power we feel. We stop being a victim. We start thinking like we have no power. It's the opposite. It's like, the world is amazing. I chose to be here so badly. Might as well enjoy it. So that's a bit about my journey. Yeah.
It's amazing. And I just love so much, like there's so many parallels and so many star seeds, and people, you know, like the earth can be really dense, and it's like, it's so much easier, you know. And like for me, it was always addiction and escaping and leaving, and like even through the early years of like through my addiction recovery was very much about like I would just sit in, you know, meditation, or just do anything to escape, you know. In meditation, when you go up and it's so easy, the being and the humanness that anchors in the spiritual side of things, which is like, I'm so happy that we're having this conversation, that you're bringing this wisdom and this awareness through, because without honoring our beings as humans and as physical beings in this reality, we don't hold the level of capacity to truly step into our potential. And there seems to be, and you might see this, and I'd love you to speak into this in a minute, this misconception that in order to be spiritual, you've got to be all like, you know, always up here. When in actual fact, when we remove that belief, like you're talking about the removal of all these beliefs that have been clouding our understanding, and realize that the more that we anchor into our body, the more that we are this beautiful vessel for everything that's wanting to come through. I would love you to share on like what you begin to notice, especially within the people that you're working with who are wanting to keep avoiding the feelings, the emotions, being with the traumas, being with just themselves, how they can begin to embody themselves as full galactic earthlings.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Like so much. Could talk for hours, right? So for a lot of people, it's realizing that spiritual life is not a thing they do. So there is a misconception I find as well around awakening, like what awakening is to our spirituality. It's like, it's not discovering about ghosts or aura or galactic realm. No, awakening is awakening to our true self and all the shit that goes along with it. All the times we haven't rose up to the occasion of being the bigger person, all the times we try to escape through drugs and alcohol and meaningless sex and, you know, bad relationships and bad jobs and, you know, like a small life, because we just couldn't find inside of us this courage to actually dig deep, because when we dig deep, it is painful. And it is very easy to go out there and to receive downloads. A lot of us are naturally tapping more and more into that because everything is so much more open now, right? Like the galactic doors are right open. We can have this conversation right now, but it is a lot harder to go down into the shadows, go down in the earth, in the inner child, in ancestors' timeline, in past lives, because what we see is all the hurts. And so a lot of people are afraid of first, living again through the wounds and traumas, but second is to stay strapped into this victimhood and also take responsibility for our actions. And I find it's very important to hold space. And this is why I really love this kind of work that, like we are facilitating, is to simply hold space for people and say, I know it's hard, but you've got this because you are here, because remember, you are a magnificent soul, you're courageous, you're a spark of the divine. Imagine like the angel that you love, your galactic friends, like Source, the Virgin Mary, whatever archetype of divinity you want to relate to. Imagine that archetype saying like, oh, no, I'm not going to do this. No, not for me. I'm too scared. No, they're going to say it's like, bring it on. I open my heart portal and I should process it, being fully aligned to my true self. And this is really bringing people into that space of being so aligned to their divine self that there is no fear whatsoever about the shadows. Or if they are there so little, and we are so connected as well to our mind process that we can recognize. And like, even though the voice is here, we're not going to buy into it. We're not going to feel the dark wolf. We're going to say, no, I choose to ground myself by understanding my journey and honoring our journey. For a long time, I would see my journey as being so bad, and I was placing myself as being such a victim that it was taking me outside of my vortex, outside of my alignment. And one day, like a couple of years ago, I had this life. I was like, let's rewrite my story and see that so many gifts I have received. Honor the journey, honor the path, because I'm still standing, And if you're watching this, you're listening to this, like, you're still standing, and more than standing, you're freaking rising. So it really shows already the amount of power that you and I and all of us have. And it's really like keeping on wiring into that through heart portal and practice and meditation and wild dance and trance and connecting through these platforms. We like-minded people uplifting together the conscious collective, uplifting humanity.
And this is so beautiful, and it's so like such an honor to hear you sharing this journey that you've been through. And literally we were speaking with Danielle as well, who was literally just before was speaking about the adversity that people face to get to where they currently are. We don't see the behind the scenes of what happens to get to where you are. And hearing this, like the feeling that you're bad, like I relate to that so much. I was such a rebel, and I was always like doing these awful things. And I think shame and guilt, and when we hold on to these awful things that, that are not in our highest alignment, they're part of the human experience. And if we're being born into a family or a reality or a place that feels so opposite to us as children, that's really challenging to navigate. And when you see, and I know that you do this a lot in your work as well, but what is the biggest thing that you guide people through or to be doing to love themselves so that they can open to that magnificence regardless or because of what they've experienced in their past through either receiving or taking action on things that they perhaps don't like thinking about or aren't in the highest for them?
Yes. So I find that for some people, like the notion of self-love is so triggering that they can't even go there. It's like, like we've heard so much about that. Like I was one of those people. And so I tried to use different words. And for me, it's like having my own back and rising up to the occasion. And I would just say to people like this goes through a very deep process of rewiring our brain, because we have the power to rewire everything up there, our conscious mind, subconscious mind, and so on. So rewiring the brain into getting excited about being triggered, getting excited about having a challenge. So when something arises, instead of going like, oh, too scared, I'm going to smoke, I'm going to drink, I'm going to party, and I'm going to hide and watch Netflix and numb until this trigger leaves my reality, until next time it comes, and then it's so right in your face that you have to deal with it, but you've got no clues. So instead it's like having this deep presence. So I teach to people, you know, like I'm Capricorn, I'm disciplined, right? So I teach people as well to bring discipline in life, because a lot of people, they want bypass. And so they come to me, it's like, oh, heal me. It's like, oh, wrong person. Sorry. First, I'm not a healer. I'm a channeler. I channel healing. And then you are the only one who can receive and act, you know, take aligned actions. And all of that is through changing habits, you know, around our food, around what we drink, the people we meet. And once we can start bringing alignment, meditation, trance dance, you know, heart-centered practice, then we can kind of experience these moments of pure alignment. To start with, it's like, oh, what is it that I'm feeling? And then an hour later, we are being taken off. But the more we come back into this alignment, the more we can actually live 100% from that place of deep presence. And this is what all the masters talk about. This is not something new. And I don't say that I live all the time from there, but it is very much present in my reality now of being so connected, so anchored in my soul, that every single glitch I observe in my energy system, I feel it straight away. I know where it comes from, and I know what to do. Sometimes I know I need space, I need to hold back, or I need to voice something. Oh, let's take this, let's go back home, meditate on it. You know, really meditate and bring clarity upon this process. Why is it that I'm so triggered when this person mentions this or mentions that? And so it's like doing the work. Nothing is going to happen out of magic. Yes, magic happens, but for that, we in 3D reality, we have to create the frame. When I connect to my friends in spirit, you know, when I used to, like, I was like, oh, please help me to do that. It's like, you have to take actions. Create the containers. Like, I want more money. Set up your services, you know, upgrade, do this. Like, there's so much they can do. Like, actually, we have more power than them here, if we really think about it, because we are one of them. I'm partly Arcturian, right? But because I can speak here, I can click all those buttons, and I can use my voice, I can channel this. Like my beautiful friend Anok here, that she can try as much as she likes. It's not going to happen yet, maybe later. But it's like really teaching people to embrace self-work, because there is this notion as well that it's so painful, so complicated, we don't want to get there. Actually, it's awesome. It's amazing. Like just peeling off the layers, like more and more gifts, you know, because in the shadows, it's always a gift. It's like, oh, this little dragon, this little shadow, this little heart, let's give it love, you know, let's peel off. Where does it come from? Is it there? And what is the gift inside? It's like, maybe it's compassion, maybe it's empathy, maybe it's the ability to see the future, maybe it's the ability to self-heal, whatever. There's always a gift to be discovered. And it's really anchoring ourselves in that divine remembrance. I find like it's constantly fueling people's heart, really.
Yeah. I love this so much. And it's like when you honor, and there's a couple of things that you've spoken into, which I'm going to open up some more, because I think it's like, it's one thing to look and go like, yeah, that's really cool to be a channel, but let's bring this into the physical and how people can fully activate this within themselves, knowing that, I love what you say of like, we are literally here, you know, so powerful, much more powerful than often our friends in spirit. And I always think of it as like, we're the team leader, you know, like we come into Earth and we're like, all right, team, this is what we're doing. I'm the one that's going to go down on the front line. You guys got to help, all right? Because I can't see everything. I'm going to take the amnesia pill and I'm not going to remember things. So you guys got to help, right? And then we open up to this like, holy shit, what's going on? I didn't expect this human reality to be so like this, right? And we go through this awakening process. And then we get to this point of realizing, and I love, this is like, for me, this was a game changer in my business growth, in my leadership, and changing my life, attracting soulmate, like having excitement about growth provoking opportunities, aka triggers. Like when you can go and look at everything, this is when you shift from victim of like, oh my God, I'm triggered right now, to, oh my gosh, I'm triggered. What's this bringing up? What is this teaching me? What do I get to learn about this situation or life or humanity or my mission or my gifts or anything right now? Go into that. Why is it triggering? Why is this emotional state there? But what I'm super curious to hear about from you, Cendrine, is that level of awareness of being able to say, this is what this trigger is teaching me. This is what this is teaching me. I need space. I need to voice this. Requires a huge amount of being a very, very clear channel. You know, like that hyper awareness and super tapped in. What's your process, or what do you do or be, or how do you tap into being the best, most clear vessel and channel that you can be?
So it's both, depending on where we place ourselves, right? It's both easy and full on. So I've been building these foundations for years, not knowing the whole picture, but now I know why. So it's like my sole mission to start with, it's to be 100% full-time channel. So all the time being that tuned in that I can just channel and be in any situation and be a channel of divine guidance, or like whoever wants to use my body, right? And to be able to do that, because I actually bring my Arcturian friend in my body, and they're like, they vibrate super, super high. So to be able to do that, my physical body has to be a super high vibe, if I can say so. Because it's not only that I channel that, because actually the work that I do is not necessarily predictions that comes, but it's not necessarily the readings, but it's full on healing. And the Arcturians, that the masters healers out there, you know, in the universe. And like, it's mind blowing. So I sweat. I swear, like I have to change entirely after a session. I can't wear makeup, otherwise it's all smudged, my hair like this. It's like full trend. And my voice and everything, like the vibration, sometimes I feel like I'm just going to explode from inside, but it's really being able to channel that, to be present, requires me to have a very strong discipline with my body. So I practice a lot of yoga, I meditate every day, I trance dance as well, I connect a lot with my sacred sexuality, because that's what allows me, with the breath work that I do, to tap into the frequencies necessary to kind of open my physical body to receiving Anok inside of me. But like, I have refined my diet for the last 7 years. So like I'm vegan, I'm sugar free, I'm gluten free. I practice intense fasting, so intermittent fasting, but like I'm refining all of that. I'm completely sober. So that was not a conscious decision. So I struggle a lot with deep addictions to weed, like it was my bad thing, but as well alcohol. Like it was like even a year and a half ago, I was still like deep into that. I was already doing a lot of spiritual work, but I wasn't yet trance channeling. To be able to trance channel and have Anok inside my body, I cannot have any of that. And none of that is hardly be. All of that is so easy. I feel freaking amazing all the time. Like my body is full of energy. I can process emotions so easily now. Like everything, like I can feel so much. It's just that joy is there. Of course, I still feel like, you know, all the waves of life, but it's like observing all of that, and this level of presence is just so divine and such a blessing. And the joy in my heart, like I'm making it, you know, like how often like I texted you that, and like text my girlfriends and my friends, I'm doing it, it's happening. It's freaking happening. And all of that is because I am disciplined. And I just want to say to everybody listening right now, you don't have to do all of that, right? Because your soul mission might not be to be a full-time channel to Arcturian's healing. But whatever your mission is like really looking into the necessary adjustments that you need to bring into your daily life to be able to accomplish that. And please remove the concept that it is hard. Hard is an outdated program running hard in the collective at the moment. Earning money is not hard. Finding love is not hard. Being a channel is not hard. Changing diet, becoming a vegan is not hard. Nothing is hard. If you think it's hard, it's going to be freaking hard. If you tune into your body and feel what's really aligning, then it's easy, because all of these changes, they came to me. I never forced myself. If something doesn't feel right, I just don't do it, you know. But it's like trying and then trying and saying, okay, I feel it's coming. What is it that I can anchor now to be able to take that step, you know? And it's through self-inquiry, self-discovery.
It's so, and it is like, I always call it dating yourself. Like you're really, like you're constantly just dating yourself, you know? Like,
I love it. Yeah. Because one of the things is that I've been celibate for a year. I just had one slip up around Christmas. But anyway, because I needed it. But like, because men were my addiction, like big time, you know, since I was 14, I hadn't been single. It's freaking crazy. I hadn't been single or sober or not smoking weed since I was 14 years old. So I decided to go like, to cut all of that. And because I had that determination of eliminating from my life all toxicity, then I was kind of being able to bring this level of freaking alignment. And I'm so happy. I'm so proud, you know, it pays off. Yeah, to follow the heart.
Go into this, if you feel like sharing, are really around like your decision, especially with celibacy and removing, like you were saying, like removing all toxicity. Just before going into that though, I think it's important because you say like you want your body to be high vibe, and I think it's important that we remember that high vibe doesn't mean an ungrounded like like super high vibe. It's very like a high vibration because you are removing the toxicity, and often going through the process of removing the toxicity doesn't feel high vibe, but it's that process of releasing. So I'd love you to share like how that has contributed to your mission and purpose and everything that you're stepping into with your journey of celibacy.
Yes, well, everything changed. It was because I reclaimed my power. I reclaimed my yoni. I observed my addiction, and I thought I had worked on it. And it's always like peeling the layers. I had worked on these traumas from my childhood and my past lives, but I never followed the aligned actions. You know, I always needed a guy for comfort and for sex, you know, like I thought it was the case. And that came with the package of smoking and drinking and partying hard. And I tried for years and years and years, and I kept on failing. And so actually like something that changed everything is that my mom became sick all of a sudden. Like she was taken to hospital, and 2 days later she was operated from a brain tumor, and it was a 9 months of how can I say, purging, you know, from her body until she passed in December. But that was the thing. I was like that's done, like that's over. Like I'm gonna be the best version of myself, because like I want to be proud. I want to live to my life to the fullest, because if my mom can go through this, maybe I have this inside of me. And for a while I was freaked out with the idea to have a brain tumor that wasn't diagnosed, but that's gone now. But so for me it was the tipping point. And when we go through intense challenges like that, grief and so on, we have two choices. We have a choice to go down and be in depression, because that choice was there, you know, like I could see myself going into that timeline, and I was like, no fucking way. I'm going to choose the opposite, and the polar opposite is to step into my full freaking power and smash it and make mom proud, because mom would always see all my potential. It was like, oh, why do you keep on doing this, Cendrine? You know, like you're always with the wrong people. Like, I don't want to judge, but you know, and I was like, let's honor my divine goddess and do the work. And like, I wouldn't regret anything, because everything changed in my life. And this vortex is so powerful that it's expanding extremely fast. So it's constantly anchoring. And there's something, Libby, that I would like to touch about, is that there is a lot as well of false misconceived ideas that if we don't drink, if we don't go out, then we're kind of boring. You know, like, oh, we don't know that girl. Like, that was me. Oh, yeah. It's like, I love being the entertainer, dancing on tables, you know, seducing men, going like, I want that one, I'm going to go for it. And this kind of feel like beast or whatever. Like, I'm in my power. That was completely distorted. The completely distorted reality. And then when I, like, it's interesting because like a transmission I gave to a guy 2 days ago, it was a lot about loving the pleasure of life and loving being an earthling. But that's got nothing to do with destroying our bodies. Destroying our bodies is the opposite of giving ourselves pleasure. What it means to be an earthling is to, I don't know, like I haven't done it yet, but run naked under the moon and rub ourselves in the dirt, you know, like, I don't know, swim in a lake, you know, have full moon parties, make love sober to your beloved, you know, hang out with your girlfriends, you know, love your kids, read a book, all of that, you know, like go crazy, have fun. All of that are the pleasures of life. It's because we are so distorted into what having fun means that we think we need to bring in substances to enhance our fun. Actually, no. And I want to say, when I removed the weed, I had been a weed addict for 20 freaking 2 years. And that's every single day, right? I only stopped for my pregnancies. So for all of that, I thought weed is medicinal for me because I'm so intense. And every time I was trying to stop, I would have friends. No more, they are not my friends anymore, but they would come to me. It's like, maybe actually weed is really medicinal because you're actually very intense. And it was like, no, I'm like, fuck that. Removing all of that forced me to face my intensity. Why am I intense? It's because I need to channel. I have energy. So I started running. I started swimming in the cold sea in Wellington in the middle of winter. I started like trance channeling, and now I know why I'm so intense. It's because I can hold these vibrations inside of me and I can transmit that to others and hopefully shift them from a place of the heart, you know? So it's like channeling or gifted, you know, intensity or gifted vibes that are there for a reason into co-creation, into like manifesting something bigger, shifting humanity, and not numb ourselves because we think like we need to fit in a box and entertain people like a little monkey, you know? So that's a lot of light bulbs came around that also.
It's huge. It's like this massive awareness, especially around, you know, and you're right, I was having this conversation with a client today around like, how do you have fun? And for me,
Yeah.
I'm really on my awakening. Like it was very much like, well, who am I without drugs, without alcohol, without this identity that had been placed upon me? And so I lived up to that identity because of what everyone around me was saying. And then facing your own self, your own being, and learning to love yourself. And the same thing of like, you know, and what I would love you to share and really speak into is everyone, and I'm sure like everyone here can probably relate, everyone that is ready to step into their next level of goddess has probably at some point, and if you're watching live, like just comment so we can see who's like really feeling this, of feeling like you're too much, feeling like you're too intense, feeling like you don't fit in. Okay, this is such a big thing that I feel like is holding so many people back from actually stepping into who they are, because it's okay to be intense. It's okay to be like such a beautiful divine channel of light that other people get so triggered just by being around you. Okay, so I'd love you to share into this if you are able to.
Yeah, so everyone, like your energy is a gift. So since we were little, we were pre-programmed into enslavement by the system. And bless all these people, they had no clue, right? And like it runs still strong into the collective, this enslavement system that we have into. By the age of 5, you freaking have to sit on a bench and download ridiculous information because this is what you do. And if you start chatting to your friends, or if you need to run around because you've got so much energy, then you're a bad girl, bad boy. So we have been like programmed into thinking that if we step outside of the line, something is wrong with us. But there's nothing wrong with us. Everything is wrong with the system. This is why we need to tap back into our power and reclaim it and honor it, and realizing everything that has been brought to us like against our will, against our alignment, and that is not in alignment with our sovereignty. Reclaiming our sovereignty is reclaiming our energy, our frequencies, all the codes that are there inside the earth that hold our past memories from, all the past lines that we have, like through Lemuria and Atlantis and so on and so on. And then all the galactic codes up there that we are here to bring back, through like connecting with higher realms. We are meant to be channeled, because like for me, it's a soul mission, but all of us are meant to channel frequencies. We are meant to constantly feel it. So it is just that my mission is to teach others how to become that, but all of us, it's innate gift. Intuition, self-healing abilities are innate gift. It's just that we have forgotten how to be into that. And so for me, it's really much like going back within to be able to bring that out, and also to bring what's outside in. So it's like this constant exchange. Like I love to work with the infinity sign, because it really shows like it's an endless giving and receiving, giving and receiving. And if we don't give ourselves the space needed to really explore what is happening, why we are feeling so unsettled, then we can break free from preconditioning. And I'm actually like coaching and mentoring an amazing woman at the moment who's witnessing that she's constantly unsettled. And she's like, I can't pinpoint it. It's like I've been unsettled for so long. It's like, great. Can we create an opening, a window for being happy with being unsettled? Because we can't always know. We can't always know exactly why we feel like this. Maybe there's something happening, astrologically, which is happening a lot, around the planet. It's crazy at the moment. But maybe there's kind of a program inside of us still running that's being removed at night when our galactic friends help us. We don't always need to know. So it's always being able to hold space for us. And when we are being very intense, great, let's use that energy to dance and rock and run and climb mountains and create and downloads and downloads and downloads, Yes.
There is so much in this, and it's like just opening that realization that it is safe to love yourself. It is safe to love yourself, whatever you have been through, whatever anyone has been through. And I feel like the biggest, I don't want to say obstacle or challenge, but like growth provoking opportunity, if we want to call it that, right, is really in the gift of being able to love yourself is where you begin to open up your intuition. When you begin to love yourself and release all of these old beliefs that have been placed upon you by society, by the old conditioning, the old programming, and everything that's no longer serving you, and you open up that capacity for such deep love within you, and you heal the shame through forgiveness, through loving true, and like how you said before about like you don't like the word self-love because it is overused. It's like, yeah, but what does that mean? And I feel like you can only understand what self-love means once you've learned to love yourself. Until then, it's just like, well, yeah, of course I love myself, but without that embodiment of knowing what it actually means, when you see this and realize that the biggest way to be so present with the full intensity and the full gift of the intensity, what's the biggest thing that you see within people as they begin to learn how to love themselves exactly where they're at?
Excitement. Excitement. It's like waking up in the morning and the world is different. It's literally that. And it's like the inner child excitement, it's like you wake up and the world is your oyster and you can't believe that you didn't see that way before. It's like the shift is so radical that reality has changed forever. And that is simply by doing the work of holding space and connecting back to our soul. Because once we connect back to our soul, we can anchor ourselves into a heart portal, which is 5D reality, which is there already. 5D ascension timeline is already here. It's just that we haven't reached the tipping point yet. So the collective is switched on to that, but we're going to get there. So now so many of us are doing the work to anchoring through the heart portal. We're saying, what is it that I feel in my heart? And like the emotions are like rivers. The emotions have to be embraced. You know, it's like it's a river, and sometimes it's a very gentle stream, easy to see and understand and to be with. And sometimes it's a rushing river. But whatever the river is, it's always to keep space in our heart portal for that, and also for connection to other humans. And I don't know where I was going with that. I lost track of my thoughts.
But it's that excitement of seeing the world so differently. And I think
yes.
You love yourself and you see, and I'm going to share a funny story. This is hilarious. And I think when you reach a point of going, do you know what? I don't care what other people think anymore. I just want to be the best version of myself, whatever that means. And that last time I was in New Zealand, I was visiting my nana, right? And I was on holiday and I was going for a walk in the evening, and the sunset was the most beautiful sunset I had ever seen. It was glorious.
Wow.
And you know, when you've done all this work and you begin to see the world literally differently because the vibration that you're holding. And I was standing there, I was on the footpath and I was looking at the sunset and I was like, wow. And these girls walked past me and they were like,
weird.
And I'm going, have you guys seen the sky? Look how beautiful it is. And they're like, but I think, and they just like kind of walked past me like crazy lady. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's probably not a very normal thing to be doing, is appreciating the beauty, is loving this earth, is loving this planet. And through this like gift and ability to just fully be yourself, you bring about, like, you know, whether it triggers people or people think you're weird or whatever it is, at the end of the day, it's bringing about much needed change in the world, right?
Yes, totally. Like I find this excitement goes on all levels. It's like really reconnecting to our beautiful Gaia, and really reconnecting to Gaia also allow us to be a better earthling, you know, to take more aligned action every day so you can really become earth protectors. But then when we start expanding into rediscovering more about like our intuition and galactic origin, it's that we are mesmerized by our own self. And I find that when I learn and I keep on learning about my own journey, I'm like, wow, that's pretty badass. That's super cool, actually. Like, I love it. And through the people I coach, like through the course and one-on-one and the testimonials, it's always around that. It's like, when I was little, I had that happening and that happening and that happening, and they're so excited because now they can draw the lines. I loved the watching at the stars and Orion, and now I've just learned that I'm an Orion starseed, but also I could see a little boy and that relate to blah, blah, blah. And so it's like drawing all of these lines, you know, everything is so perfectly organized, orchestrated by the universe. It's like we are in awe. So it's deep respect, but as well humility in front of so much perfection. And I find being able to tap into that really allow us to drop the heaviness and the baggage of doing the work. It's like knowing that we've been through so many hardships so far, but yet when we can have so much clarity upon that process, like we can trust, like I trust the universe freaking 100%. I'm going to take every leap of faith that the universe asked me to do, because I have like actually consciously realized and aligned myself that through so many actions and little details that I am here today doing this amazing work, serving people, you know, spreading love and living my best life. And I think that it's like these light bulbs, they have to be life-changing. Like nobody wakes up after light bulbs like that and say, oh, I'm just going to go to like being completely cut from all of that. It's like, oh, I want to know more.
Yeah, and I think this is so beautiful as well. And the more that you go into this and you learn how to love yourself through the process of bringing up, especially those in the beginning of their journeys of really going, oh, okay, I'm not sure how I feel about that part of myself, and learning to love themselves through that. And then the more that you go through this process, and like you said about realizing and discovering more parts of your soul, more parts of your soul blueprint, more parts of just yourself as a human being, and you learn to love every single part of you, remembering that at the end of the day, we are source experiencing ourselves or experiencing itself. And so
yes,
the moment we get to love ourselves and learn about our journeys and learn how to bring more love through all of these amazing experiences, is removing that idea that focusing on yourself is a bad thing, and actually it's the best thing that we can be doing for humanity.
yes,
The rising of the consciousness. It's like So much magic. What I would love, and I know that you're like, I'm so excited for this, for you to be bringing through the healing activation.
Yay!
Be bringing through.
Okay.
In afterwards as well, just like really going into, if people wanting to go deeper with you, how they're able to do that as well.
Awesome. Yay. So it's going to be a short activations because they tend to be on the long side, but like I've tuned in, then we kind of have just a short activation, which is not full on trance, but something that's really going to help people to really reconnect through the earth star, which is just below the feet, and then the soul star just be, above the head. And through this, we are going to already reclaim a lot of powers of being an earthling, re-anchoring to earth, and being a galactic being, through time and space realities. Okay?
Awesome. Thank you. Do we need to do anything before we prepare?
Yes, so we're just gonna all close our eyes, and then for a moment, we're simply gonna start breathing from the lower belly. Simply feeling the breath in the lower belly now. And allowing that breath to relax our body and soften the mind. Beautiful. Connecting to the heart center now, breathing from the heart center. Bringing in the quality of oneness into the heart center now. Simply thinking, feeling oneness into the heart portal now. And as you breathe, my friend, expand your heart portal bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Yes, excellent. Your heart portal is so big now. Feel the electromagnetic field that you are creating all around you, bringing this quality of oneness in your auric field, helping all people around you, also through quantum entanglement, benefiting now from this transmission. Excellent, excellent. Focusing now on the head space, please. Feeling the head space. Start breathing from the head space. Every time you exhale, please, friend, start expanding the head space way beyond your physical body. Excellent, excellent. Breathing more into the head space. Feel your head, physical head expanding, getting bigger and bigger as Arcturians are going to bring special activations today. You might feel certain pressure in the head. Excellent. Breathing now from the three centers, the core, the heart and the mind, the head center, core, heart and head, core, heart and head. Breathing from the three centers now, please. Excellent, excellent. As you do so, start activating a pillar of light inside of you, column of light along the spine, all the way from the crown of the head to the bottom of the spine and below. Excellent, excellent. Now I, Anok, would like to simply notice you, beloved humans, that around you in your field now are present Arcturians coming especially for this activation now. Please welcome them. Say hello, beloved Arcturians. Thank you so much. And also all the people who are going to listen to this activation later. Of course, you also receive Arcturians. Please welcome them. Say hello, beloved friends. And depending on who you are, your frequencies and mission right now, some Arcturians will also stay longer with you, becoming new galactic friends. How exciting is this? Excellent, excellent. Setting container now. Excellent, excellent. We would like you to simply focus on circulating light from the feet, a little bit under the feet, all the way up to the crown of the head and above, and then back down. Visualize it as a cylinder. The column of light is so wide that you can visualize like a cylinder, Cendrine looking for the name. Yes, like, you know, the DNA strands. Visualize that rotating inside the column of light now, activating reprogramming of your DNA also for vibrant health and tapping into highest identity. Anchoring highest identity also is coming through this activation now. Simply, beloved friend, stay with this visualization awareness now of DNA rotating inside column of light inside of you, as we are going to bring sound now. Excellent, excellent. Breathe, human, breathe more deeply now, as we are starting to activate Earth Star under your feet now. Start drawing awareness down below, under the feet. Feel energetic field down there. Feel energetic field. Earth Star, just under the feet. Feel the feet. Sensations, dear. Observe as we are now activating extra connection to soul star through sole of the feet and also Muladhara chakra, anchoring. Also, we are asking you now from the core of who you are, your power, Manipura chakra, solar plexus chakra, power of soul mission, anchoring there. We are going to ask you to reclaim your power. One code residing in Soul Star now. One code for full empowerment and channeling into highest identity timeline now. Reclaiming this now. Ask and you shall receive. As you receive, some of you might have full visual. Codes can be represented through anything, any archetypes or color or sound or emotion. Can be a crystal, could also be a dragon, right? Could also be a tree, anything. Observe the code in the Earth Star now. Pulsating, activating. Start breathing that code in now from Earth Star. Breathing that code in now. Inhaling it. More than this, human, inhale deeply from three centers, belly, heart, and head. The code is gonna intuitively shift somewhere inside your physical body to reactivate remembrance, remove outdated programming, anchoring you into a timeline that no longer serves you, helping you create space in morphic fields, helping you plug in into highest identity now. Plug in into highest identity now. Oh, yes. Excellent. More of this. Arcturians in your field. Working on harmonizing morphic field. Bring in new templates now. Excellent, nearly finished. Activation, 93% of process completed. Breathe more, human, reactivate and feel somewhere inside your body where that code is. Later, connect to it, retrieve information if you're curious about your story, because that code was stored there by your own self, yes, through past life, sometimes also inner child. child, and you put it there because you thought, this code not appropriate for me right now in this life. But no, it is about reclaiming your power. Stop smelling small, human. We need you. Yes, friends in spirit need you. We need more people stepping into full power. So go together. We can help humanity realize 5D reality already here. So reclaim this now. Unapologetically stepping into full power. Excellent. Delicious. 100% activation completed now. Excellent. Scanning. Excellent. Reactivation now of soul star. Please, beloved human, now visualize star above the head. Yes, some of you will have full visual of this and strong downloads. Excellent. Everything is going to relate to highest identity and anchoring of soul mission on planet Earth right now. We need change makers. We need leaders to step fully into their roles. So this code will be a lot around that. So you can be the change. The earth needs you to be. Excellent. Simply feel above the head. It's going to start pulsating, activating. Reactivating soul star now to new level of frequencies. And same process, beloved human, now from the center of who you are, from the core of your deep power, reclaim the code in the soul star now. Start for you, waiting all your life for this very moment right now when you could reclaim this galactic power, reactivating now, reclaim it, and saying, inhale it down now through crown chakra, Sahasrara. It's going to come and intuitively come somewhere in your physical body. Observe where it's going now and breathe in the process. Activating, coming down. Down. Arcturians in your field, clearing in the head, clearing in the head. Excellent. Code is now finding its space, plugging in, shifting in the morphic field, removing outdated templates that can no longer work because this code, very high in frequencies, if we do not remove the templates, could fry you and the brain a little bit, too much frequencies. So removing outdated programs will allow this code to fully morph into morphic field and be excellent, activated, reactivating highest identity now. Bring in new templates, very appropriate for you right now. Templates around leadership and change makers. All around heart-centered leadership. Excellent. Breathe into this, beloved human. We are still working on replugging into morphic field. Excellent. Nearly finished activation. Excellent. 100% of that activation. Now, simply breathe in the heart center. Scanning. Excellent. Now, as you breathe, feel the heart center as the point inside, in the center of the infinity loop, going all the way to soul star and down all the way to earth star, creating this infinite loop inside of you intuitively now, activating remembrance from below and above now. So with great ease now, you'll be able to reclaim your powers, beloved humans. But remember, easy to reclaim powers, right? Different to anchor them and embody them in 3D reality. Your job will be to bring aligned actions because, yes, you can reclaim all the codes and activations you want and receive all the healing you want. If you just slouch on couch watching Netflix, nothing's gonna happen. So do the work in 3D reality, as beloved Cendrine and beloved Libby talked about before. Because to help you, you must help yourself also. But we know you can do this because we know you. We are here always. And you know, Anok has been human before. I know what it is, beloved. I have so much empathy and compassion for you. I know your hardship. And we have been watching you. We have so much honor and respect for you. Excellent. Activation completed. Checking. Excellent. We feel it is good for today. Closing, closing, closing. Portals open. Taking few breaths now, beloved human. Thanking Arcturians working in your field. Some will stay and some will go. I, Anok, would like to thank you so much for showing up today. It shows your dedication to the path of divine remembrance and embodiment of leadership into this world. We thank beautiful Libby, a goddess, a shaman, such a deep soul, so profound. You've got very strong link with us, you know, beloved. It is a honor to serve you and community created in this container. All of you, we wish for you to step fully in your power because you are so amazing. If only you knew about all that you can bring into this world. You stop messing around, right? You would step fully in power right now. So use this container, use this activation and all others that are going to come on platform to act as so many launching platform from your own divine remembrance, shifting humanity all together in oneness, 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 oneness. Thank you so much, so much, and bye for now.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Beautiful, beautiful. Cendrine and Anok, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To everyone who has been here and receiving this activation, thank you for showing up for yourself to activate the next level of your goddess in humanity. To all of the beings working with us right now, as well as the Arcturians, to all of our divine guidance who is with us right here in this planet at this time. Thank you for showing every single one of us who are live right now and watching the replay of how we can best connect with the divine guidance that is always available to us. Thank you to our beautiful cosmic sister, Cendrine, for this incredible activation and channeling that you have brought through to help us tap into and activate everything that is ready for us. And may this process for each of us continue with so much grace and flow as it continues to alchemize and we activate deep levels of everything that's coming through. Thank you so much for the work that you have done, Cendrine, to be able to get to this place of bringing through this level of energy, activation, and insight.
Thank you.
And if you have words, human words from Cendrine, to how people are best able to go through this process for those who are called to go deeper into your work in your channeling to help them activate, for everyone watching live or on the replay to help you activate everything that's ready for you through Cendrine's work.
Thank you, Libby. Yeah, so I offer a lot on my social media platform. Like I created a YouTube channel because the Arcturians ask me to regularly trans channel messages. So I offer a lot, you know, for free for everybody to be activated. And if you want to work closely with me, then I do like one-on-one session of trans channeling. So it's like 2.5 hours in total. And then I also have an amazing container called the Galactic Intuitive Online Course, and which is like a proper, you know, spiritual growth journey to rediscover intuition, but as well as soul mission and anchor our soul identity, soul mission here. And it's just amazing. And if anybody is interested to join the Galactic Intuitive, I'm offering a $50 discount with simply like the GoddessFest code. You can write that down after. So yes, and I love sharing. I love hearing stories about people, you know, reconnecting. And so yes, reach out. I'm really open. I'm really happy to connect. You know, whatever level you want to connect with.
Thank you. And will you be able to put the link in the comments? I'm finding words still, Cendrine. That was a powerful.
Yeah, me too. I'm like.
So beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Libby. Oh.
I'll see you.
Love you all. Love you, Libby.
Love you all. Bye, everyone.
Bye.